Okay, Chon-Ji time. Alright, good to see you all today. So Chon-Ji, the first official of the Taekwondo patterns, 19 moves. We've covered 2 of the moves already in Sajujurugi, so walking stance punch and walking stance outer forearm low block, but we will refresh those a little bit, go over a few basics. Is that Ralph I see? Hi Ralph. And we're going to start on L stance techniques, how L stance differs from walking stance, and then we've got a middle block in there as well. Then we'll move on to sort of little tips for how you can remember Chon-Ji, because after doing Sajujurugi, Chon-Ji seems like quite a big step up, it seems quite difficult. And then once we've done those rules, we'll practice the first half a couple of times, and then we'll practice the whole thing a couple of times, because that first half sort of gets us into the habit of doing those big 180 turns and those little 90-degree turns. So if we start off with our walking stance low block, so like I said, we know this from Sajujurugi anyway, so we can practice either just staying in a walking stance, which is probably a good way for us to begin. So get yourself a lovely big walking stance, front leg bent, back leg straight, and we're going to be half facing, so you can allow that front shoulder to be a little bit further forward than the second shoulder. I start my hands back to back with my blocking hand on top. So if I'm going to be using my right hand, I'll put my right hand on top of the left and I'll perform the low block to here. Hands back and down. So we'll do 10 of those. So get yourself ready. Pop your right leg in front so you're the same as me. Yeah, and we're going to be using that right hand. So right hand on top, block, number 1. Another one, right on top, block with the right. Right on top, block with the right. 2 more with the right hand. 1 more. Nice, and then swap over. So now we've got the left leg in front, so we'll be putting the left hand on top this time. People often get these mixed up, so make sure you are putting the left one on top. And number 1. Back here. Number 2. Left on top. Number 3. Left on top. Number 4, and 1 more. Good, okay. So we've just got into the habit of crossing the hands for the low block. We'll practice our walking stance punch this time, but we'll do it stepping. Okay, so I'm going to be back here, I'm going to step forward, walking stance punch. And then I'll come back to where I started and I'll practice on the other side. Principles for the stance are the same because it's still a walking stance. Front leg bent, back leg straight, 1.5 times your shoulder width long, weight through the middle, yeah? Don't have more weight on the front leg than the back leg, have it through the middle. Now you'll notice my shoulders are different when I do my punch. When I was in the low block I was like this, but in the punch I'm like this, so full facing, both shoulders the same distance from the wall in front. So if you're looking at me, I want both your shoulders the same distance from me. Don't have one shoulder nearer me than the other. Okay, ready? We'll do this side first. Good. Dull. So middle punch means shoulder height, remember. Set. Looking good, guys. Now. And for most of you, I can't see your feet, that's absolutely fine. Just every so often, have a check, have a look down, make sure your walking stance does look good. Toss it. Yosef. And you'll notice I always aim with the other hand and I can pull that hand back nice and strong. You'll go. Yowl. And then 2 more, but I'm going to watch you guys. Ahop. Well done. Beckett, make that stance even bigger for me. And last one, Yul. Yes, much better, that was looking great. Okay, so L stance, middle block. So L stance is different to walking stance. So if my walking stance was here, I need to turn, see where my toes are? I need to bring my foot sword onto that line. So it's not hugely smaller. We don't have a walking stance here and an L stance here. It's not that much smaller. Just turn it around where the toes were. And then push 70% of the weight onto the back leg. One mistake we usually see with L stance is this knee buckling in here. Sometimes we see these toes sticking backwards, especially if people have got sore knees. We want to try and get a 90-ish degree angle. The toes are actually turned in 25 degrees. But we usually, when we're teaching it, it's easy to say 1 foot pointing forward, 1 foot pointing to the side, push that back knee out over the toes. For our middle block, shoulder height, Chon-Ji maki, so same as Chon-Ji Jurugi is shoulder height, Chon-Ji maki is shoulder height as well. And you're going to want your knuckles pointing away from you, so we're going to be in this position here, knuckles pointing forward. And your hands start with the knuckles pointing up to the ceiling, and the bottom hand twists to get here. Almost everything we do in Taekwondo has this sort of twisting motion. So we have underneath, it means this hand's twisting to get into the block, and it means this hand's twisting to get back to the reaction place. Okay. So we'll practice some of those. We'll just get into an L stance, and we'll practice maybe 5 like this, and then we'll practice stepping. So bend that back leg, knuckles up to the ceiling. Megan looks ready, good Megan, and 1. Back to here, maintaining the L stance, dual. Here, knuckles up, set. Knuckles up, net. 1 more, toss it. And sometimes when I'm looking on the camera, depending on angles, it might look like your knee's buckling in when it's not and things like that. So just you keep checking your stances. Again, I can't see your feet, so you make sure you're having a little look down and that you're not doing this. Yeah, push those knees back out. Okay, we'll try it stepping this time. Okay, so I'm going to step forward with my right leg, which means my right hand is going to go underneath. Number 1. Come back up. Now my left hand goes underneath. Number 2. Yes, and make sure those back toes stick out to the side. So if I'm moving my right leg forward, my left toes have to point over here. Yeah, so I'm making this L. 2 more. Well done. Yeah, we've got a bit of sine wave there from some people. Nice. Last one. And hold that for a second, let me have a look. So everyone got their back toes sticking out, everyone bending their back leg. Yes, I can see you, Ralph, you're looking good. And relax, well done. Okay, have a sip of water if you need it, because now we'll go on to do the pattern. Okay, so there's a few rules that if you can remember them, it makes it easier to remember the pattern Chon-Ji. So, rule number 1, if you've punched with your right hand, it means you're going to do a right block next. Yeah, so every time you go from a right punch, you're either going to have a right low block or a right middle block. Every time you've punched with the left hand, yeah, we know we're going to have a left block coming after it. Okay, so it goes from right to right and from left to left. All blocks are followed by punches, and it'll be the other hand. So if I've done a left block, a right punch is coming. But if I've done a right punch, a right block is coming. Okay, every time I punch with the right, I have to turn all the way around, 180 degree turn. The way I remember it is, if I've punched with the right, turn right the way around. Yeah. So if I'm over here, I've done a right punch, I'm going to be going to the right. Yeah, so I follow my hand, my back foot stays on the floor, my right leg goes all the way around, and when it gets there, I'm going to have a block on the other side. Yeah, so I've gone from right hand to right hand. Or if I show you this way, I've gone from right hand all the way around. Right, it's my right leg that moves. But if I've done a left punch, I only do a little turn. So right punch, right the way around, left punch, little turn. Yeah, so if I've done a left punch, I just do 90 degrees. So I only go halfway around that full semicircle, yeah? Little quarter circle. And I think that's all the rules we need to remember. When we do patterns, it's probably easier if I face this way, so you'll be looking at my back, but it means we'll all be doing the pattern the same way. So if we get into our Jumbi position, okay, our first move, we have to go to the left. We've got to do a left low block in walking stance, so I relax. When I come up, I cross my hands, and I drop into that low block going to the left. Good, everyone come back to Jumbi, we'll do that again. Down, up, down. So it's a left walking stance and a left block. I love Beckett's walking stance, very good. Ralph can probably make his walking stance bigger. Yes, lovely back toes turning around. Now we punch with the right. Boom. Yeah, let's go back to the beginning. So 1, left low block, 2, right punch. I'm struggling to fit this in, but I'll do my best. Now, it's a right punch. That means we're going to have to do a right block. We have to turn to the right, and we have to turn right the way around. So my right leg is going to come all the way over here, and I will do a right low block. Yeah, give it a go. Well done. Followed by a left punch. And back to Chon-Ji. So when we were talking about patterns earlier, we were saying there's 2 different ways to do them if you haven't got much space. You can either do tiny stances to try and fit them in, or you can kind of shuffle around, and every time you need more space, just jiggle to where you need to be. So whatever method you're doing, that's fine. So first 4 moves, left, right, right, left, okay? Here we go. Left, right, boom, right, left. Okay? So now the same thing happens, but we're going to be turning to the left, because I've done a left punch. It means I've got to do a left block now, and it's a little turn. So my left foot's going to come over here, left low block, right punch. We all know what happens after a right punch. I have to go right the way around and do a right low block. Boom. That's it. So now you're facing away, and left punch. Yes, come back to the beginning. Yeah, we're going to do that twice through. We'll do it once with me saying right and left, and so on, and we'll do it once without. Okay? To the left, left low block. Right punch. Right the way round, right low block. So make sure you've used the same hand. Left punch. To the left, little turn, left low block. Right punch. If we punch with the right, we go right the way around. Right low block. Good, well done. And left punch. Excellent. So now I'll still join in with you, but I'm not going to give you the commands. Okay, everyone get ready? Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. 5. That's it, towards me. 6. And then away from me, 7. And 8. Yay, well done. Okay, so the second half follows the same principles, but we're going to get rid of walking stance low blocks, and we now have L stance middle blocks in there. So remember, there's 2 similar halves, one to represent the heaven, one to represent the earth. So we've done one, now we're on to the other. So you were looking away from me and you were doing a right punch. Yeah? Sorry, a left punch, what am I talking about? So you're looking away from me doing a left punch, and our next move is over this way, left middle block. Yeah, so can everyone find that place? Yes, well done. I know it's difficult doing patterns via Zoom, but you're doing a great job. And then we do a right punch. Now the punches are still in walking stance, it's only the blocks that have changed to L stance. Right hand, we have to go all the way around, right the way around, and we're going to be doing a right middle block in L stance. That's it, show me that your L stance is correct. And then left punch. Good, well done. So let's do that again. We were doing our left middle block over here. Yeah, so just these last few moves. Left middle block, right punch, right the way around, right middle block, left punch. So I'm going to be coming this way again, so you're going to be turning your back on me. We've done a left punch, which means I have to go left, and I will be doing a left middle block when I get there. Well done, Nuha. Yes, well done, Amira. And then right punch. Okay, we're nearly there. We're nearly back to where we started. So right hand, all the way around till you're facing me again. So we're going to go all the way around to the right. Right middle block. Yeah. Left punch. And because we're at the end, we've done a low block to every wall and we've done a middle block to every wall, we're just going to finish up. So we're going to finish by adding on an extra punch. Boom. I can barely fit that in. And then we finish up by going backwards for 2 punches. So you're still looking at me, but I go backwards and I go backwards again. And then we come back to Chon-Ji and we're all finished. So we're going to do that whole thing twice. Again, once with me trying to give you lots of help and once with me just calling the numbers. Yeah? Okay, let's go back to where we started. In fact, give me some waves. Yes, thank you, Amira. Thank you, Megan. All right, we're ready. We're going to go this way. Low block with the left. So we've gone all the way back to the beginning, which means all walking stances. Right punch. Right low block. Left punch. Go left, left low block. Right punch. Right the way around. Right low block. Remember, right punches are followed by right blocks. Left punch. To your left, left middle block, little turn. Yes, right punch. Right the way around, right middle block. In L stance. Good, good, good. Left punch. To the left, left middle block. That's it, away from me. Good, good, good. And right punch. And go back to the front again, so all the way around, so you're facing me again. Right middle block. Left punch. Right punch. Step backwards for 2 punches. 1, 2. Up Chon-Ji. Alright, you're doing alright, you're doing a really good job. I think the most difficult bit is when we turn and do techniques sort of towards the back, because it means you can't really see what's going on, but most of you are doing a really good job there. So we'll try again. I'm not going to give you any rights or lefts, but I'll still join in. Just take your time, copy me if you need to. If you don't need to copy me, just kind of blinker me out, pretend I'm not there, and still do the pattern at the same speed. Yeah. Alright, number 1. Number 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Doing well. Number 9. Second half now. Remember, second half changes. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. I'm impressed, everyone. 15. 16. Let's finish up. 17. 18. 19. Up Chon-Ji. Awesome, well done. Alright, your last challenge is to do that all by yourself. If you can't get all the way through, don't worry, it is difficult, especially if you haven't done that pattern before. Maybe you just get the first 2 moves, maybe you can get 4 moves, maybe you can get into that second half, yeah? Just get as far through as you can, and when you get to the last move that you can remember, just try and wait in it. Yeah, see how long you can hold it. Alright, everyone ready? Yeah, you do look good, everyone's looking strong. Okay, off you go. Let me have a look. Beckett's are off to a quick start. Excellent. Well done, Katie. That's it. Ralph's doing mini stances so you can fit the pattern in. That's absolutely fine. Well done, Rosa. Well done, Megan. Good work. I like when we've got all these brothers and sister teams that are in perfect timing. It's great. Excellent. And I know even though some of you can't fit the stances in properly, so you're doing like a mini walking stance and a mini L stance, but you're still showing that it should be an L stance and a walking stance. That's really good. And I think the Becketts are nearly finished. Awesome, brilliant work. So I couldn't see Isa or Amira, but I'm sure they did a really good job. We'll bow out and I'll unmute you. We'll be back at 11 o'clock for Dangun. If anyone wants to learn Dangun, that's the yellow belt pattern. Even if you're not a yellow belt pattern, you just want to give it a go for fun, that's absolutely fine. So we get attention stance. It was good seeing you all this morning, and you may Taekwon, give yourself a clap. Well done.